Hey everyone, welcome back to Speakeasy FM.
Hi, good to have you here with us.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Stacy. This is where we practice real, everyday English, the kind people actually speak, not the kind that stays stuck in a textbook.
So if you want English you can actually use tomorrow, you're in the right place.
Today, we're talking about a very specific, very annoying moment. The moment your brain has the perfect sentence, and your mouth just doesn't say it.
We're calling this one Stop Thinking, Start Talking, because a lot of us aren't bad at English. We're just really, really good at staying quiet.
So today, you'll get 3 simple tools to close that gap between thinking and talking, some low-pressure ways to practice them, and a few real stories from us, including one where Ian almost ordered a haircut instead of a coffee.
That story is not leaving this room. Anyway, let's get into it.
Okay, Ian, be honest. When was the last time you knew exactly what you wanted to say in English and you said nothing?
This morning, my neighbor asked how my weekend was. I had this whole nice sentence ready, something about hiking, something funny about my dog, and instead I just said, "Good, you?"
Classic.
I walked away thinking, why didn't I just say the actual sentence? It was right there.
I do that constantly, actually. In meetings, especially. Someone asks a question, I know the answer, and then I start fixing the sentence in my head. Is actually too casual here? Should I say, I believe instead of I think? And by the time I finish editing, somebody else has already answered.
So the idea was good. It just never left the building.
Exactly. It stayed in my head, very well dressed, going nowhere.
I love that image. A perfectly polished sentence, sitting alone in a waiting room, never called in.
That's basically what overthinking is. You're not missing the English. You're missing the exit.
And I think a lot of it comes from fear of one small mistake. Like one wrong word and suddenly you imagine everyone staring at you.
Nobody is staring at you, Ian.
You don't know that. Someone might be.
They're thinking about their lunch.
Fair. But I remember in school, a classmate mispronounced a word once, and 2 people laughed. Just 2 people. For like 1 second. And I decided right there that speaking up in English class was dangerous.
1 second of laughing, 10 years of silence. That math doesn't seem fair.
It really doesn't. But that's how it works. Your brain remembers the embarrassment much longer than it remembers that nobody actually cared.
So today isn't about deleting that fear completely. It's about learning to talk anyway, even with a little bit of that fear still in the room.
Talking with the fear, not after the fear leaves. Because the fear might just be a very slow guest.
A guest that never checks the time and never leaves the party.
Exactly. So let's give people some tools to talk anyway.
Tool number 1. Make the sentence smaller.
What do you mean by smaller?
A lot of learners try to build these long, polished sentences in their head. Something like, I have been really looking forward to this weekend because I have a lot of plans with my friends.
That is a nice sentence. Very grammatically correct.
It's a beautiful sentence. It's also the reason you say nothing, because your brain is still building it while the conversation moves on.
So what's the small version?
I'm excited for this weekend. I have plans with friends. 2 short sentences, same meaning, way less pressure.
Oh, I like that. It's like ordering food. You don't need to describe the history of pizza. You just say, 1 pepperoni pizza, please.
Exactly. Nobody needs the full essay. They need the small, clear version, right now.
I actually did the opposite of this once at a hotel front desk. I wanted to ask if I could check in early. In my head, I built this huge, polite sentence. I was wondering if it might possibly be convenient for me to check into my room slightly earlier than the standard time.
That's a lot of words for one question.
By the time I got to possibly, I forgot the rest. I just stood there and said, room, now, please?
Ha! Did it work?
It worked, but I sounded like I was in a very polite hostage situation.
Room, now, please, should honestly become a t-shirt.
I'm putting it on our merch list.
So the tip is simple. Before you speak, ask yourself, what's the small version of this sentence? Cut it down to the parts that actually matter.
Small and clear beats long and stuck in your throat.
Tool number 2. This one is one of my favorites. Buy yourself time with small reaction phrases.
Like what?
Things like, that's a good question, or let me think about that for a second. Or even just, okay.
So instead of standing there in silence, you say something small first.
Right. Silence feels scary, but a little sound while you think feels completely natural. Native speakers do it constantly.
I do it in my first language too, actually. I say so way too much before I answer anything.
We all have our sound. Mine is, okay, so.
Mine is honestly. I say honestly before things that aren't even that honest.
Honestly, I love this shirt. No, you don't, Ian. You've told me you hate that shirt.
Honestly, I panicked.
See, it works both ways. But the real trick is using these little phrases on purpose, in English, so your brain gets a few extra seconds to find the real sentence.
Give me an example with a real question.
Okay, someone asks you, what do you think about the new project? Instead of freezing, you say, that's a good question. 2 seconds pass. Now you say, I think it could work, but we might need more time.
So the phrase isn't just filler. It's a small bridge between the question and your answer.
A bridge. I like that. It gets you from one side of the silence to the other.
Without falling into the river of panic.
Exactly. And a bonus, it makes you sound thoughtful, not slow. People assume you're considering the question carefully, not that your brain crashed.
So even the pause becomes useful if you fill it with the right little words.
Tool number 3. Keep a small set of ready-made phrases in your back pocket.
Like emergency sentences.
Exactly like that. Sentences you've practiced so many times, they come out automatically without any thinking at all.
Give some examples.
Sorry, could you say that again? I'm not sure I understand. Could you explain that differently? Give me 1 second to think.
Those are so simple, but I feel like people are scared to use them because they think it makes them look weak.
It's actually the opposite. Asking someone to repeat something makes you look engaged, not weak. Staying quiet and pretending you understood, that's the actual risk.
Oh, I've done that. Nodded along to something I understood 0% of.
Everyone has done that.
One time someone asked me a whole question and I just said, yeah, totally. And I still don't know what I agreed to. For all I know, I agreed to run a marathon.
You should train, just in case.
I'm starting tomorrow, right after I finish this coffee and possibly a second coffee.
So having 5 or 6 ready phrases means you never have to freeze completely. Even if your brain goes blank, your mouth still has something to say.
It's like keeping a spare key under the mat. You hope you never need it, but it's nice to know it's there.
A spare key for your mouth. I'm going to remember that one.
Okay, so we have 3 tools. Shrink the sentence, buy time with small phrases, keep ready-made phrases. But how do you actually practice using them?
This is the fun part. You practice where nobody is watching.
Like where?
Talking to yourself. In the car, in the shower, while you're cooking.
I already talk to myself while I cook, but usually it's just me yelling at an onion.
Perfect. Keep yelling. Just do it in English. Why is this onion so difficult? I forgot to buy garlic again.
My garlic situation is honestly a whole separate topic.
We could do an entire episode on your garlic situation.
Please don't tell our viewers how often I forget garlic.
Too late. Another low-pressure way is sending a voice message to a friend who understands you're practicing. Not a perfect message, a real one.
I did that once with my cousin. I sent this long voice note trying to explain a movie, and halfway through I just said, you know what, forget it. Watch the movie yourself.
Did she watch it?
She did, and she said my voice message convinced her more than any trailer could.
See? Even a messy, unfinished message can work.
The mirror is another one, right? You mentioned this before.
The mirror is great because it never judges you. You can stand there and say, today was busy. I had a lot of meetings. I'm tired now. Just describing your day, out loud, in English.
It feels a little strange the first time.
It does, but But strange and private is a much safer place to make mistakes than strange and public.
Practice the awkward moment alone, so it's less awkward later with real people.
Exactly. Nobody becomes confident by only speaking perfectly in their head. You become confident by speaking badly 100 times somewhere safe.
Let's talk about something we haven't mentioned yet. The voice inside your head that comments on everything you say.
Oh, that voice is loud for a lot of learners. It says things like, "That sentence was wrong," or "Everyone noticed your accent."
Mine says, "You just used the wrong tense. Congratulations, everyone definitely noticed."
Very dramatic inner voice you have there.
It trained under a very strict teacher, apparently.
Here's a small trick. When that voice says something harsh, try answering it calmly, like you would answer a slightly rude coworker.
So if it says, "That was a bad sentence," I say back, "Thanks for the feedback. We're still moving forward."
Exactly like that. You don't have to fight the voice. You just don't have to obey it either.
I like that it's not about silencing the voice completely, because honestly, mine is never fully quiet.
Mine either. But it doesn't need to disappear. It just needs to stop being the boss of the conversation.
A quiet coworker in the back of the room, not the manager giving orders.
Perfect way to put it. And let's be honest, sometimes you use all these tools and you still make a mistake.
Oh, absolutely. Tools don't make you perfect. They just make you braver.
What's a mistake that still makes you laugh?
Okay, this is the coffee shop one. I meant to say, "Can I get a haircut of coffee?" Which doesn't even make sense, but somehow the words haircut and coffee got completely mixed up in my head, and I said, "Can I get a coffee cut, please?"
A coffee cut.
The barista looked at me for a solid 3 seconds and then just said, "Small or large?"
She just accepted it and moved on.
Best barista in the city, honestly. She saved me.
See, that's the real lesson. The world usually just keeps going. Someone asks a clarifying question, everybody moves forward. Nobody writes it in a newspaper.
Local man requests coffee cut. City unharmed.
Exactly that headline. And that's really the whole point of today. The mistake is small. The silence is the bigger cost, because silence means zero practice, and the mistake at least means you tried.
A weird sentence with confidence beats a perfect sentence that never gets said.
That should be on a poster somewhere.
Okay, so we've practiced alone, mirror, cooking, voice messages, but at some point you have to actually talk to a real human being.
That's the scary jump, right? Alone, there's no risk. With a real person, suddenly there's a whole audience of one.
An audience of one is still an audience, apparently.
The trick here is the same as everything else today. Start small. You don't need a deep conversation about your childhood on day one.
What do you start with instead?
Low-stakes moments. Ordering food. Asking someone the time. Commenting on the weather to a stranger at a bus stop.
Tiny conversations that don't really matter if they go a little wrong.
Exactly. Nobody remembers the stranger at the bus stop tomorrow, but you remember that you actually spoke.
I did this on purpose once at a farmer's market. I picked the smallest, easiest interaction I could find. I asked the man selling tomatoes, "Are these sweet or more sour?"
Very low stakes. Very safe question.
He talked to me for 5 whole minutes about his tomatoes. I understood maybe 70% of it, and I still walked away feeling like I'd won something.
You basically got a tomato lecture and a confidence boost in the same conversation.
2 for 1. And the next day, ordering coffee felt a little less scary because my brain remembered, "Oh right, I survived the tomato guy."
That's exactly how it builds. One small, real conversation makes the next one feel a little more normal.
It's like the first step off a diving board. Terrifying the first time, and then somehow, just a normal Tuesday.
And here's something important. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing to feel a little uncomfortable for 30 seconds.
30 seconds of, "This is weird," for a whole day of, "I actually did that."
A very good trade if you ask me. Okay, let's slow down and go through some of the key words and phrases from today.
Great idea. First word, overthinking. Overthinking means thinking about something so much and so carefully that it actually stops you from acting.
Example. I was overthinking my answer, so by the time I spoke, the topic had already changed.
Next, to freeze. In this context, to freeze means your brain suddenly stops, like a computer that stops responding.
Example. She knew the answer, but she froze the moment everyone looked at her.
Next word, filler phrase. A filler phrase is a small expression you use to buy time while you think, like, "That's a good question," or "Let me think."
Example. I use filler phrases like, okay, whenever I need a few extra seconds.
Next, ready-made. Ready-made means already prepared, so you don't have to build it from nothing in the moment.
Example. I keep a few ready-made phrases for when I don't understand something.
Next word, low pressure. Low pressure describes a relaxed situation without stress, judgment, or a real risk.
Example. Talking to yourself in the car is a low-pressure way to practice English.
Next, inner voice. Your inner voice is the internal narrator that comments on your thoughts and actions, sometimes kindly, sometimes not.
Example. My inner voice can be pretty harsh, so I'm learning to talk back to it.
And our last word, braver. Braver means having more courage than before, even if you're still a little scared.
Example. These tools don't remove your fear completely, they just make you a little braver.
So, our words today: overthinking, freeze, filler phrase, ready-made, low pressure, inner voice, and braver.
7 really useful words. Try to use at least one this week, even in a text message to yourself.
Okay, let's wrap up everything we talked about.
We started with the real problem, having the right sentence in your head, but never letting it out.
We talked about why we freeze, usually because of fear, old embarrassing memories, or wanting the perfect sentence.
Then we gave you 3 tools. Shrink the sentence, buy yourself time with small reaction phrases, and keep a set of ready-made phrases for emergencies.
We talked about practicing where nobody is watching, the mirror, talking to yourself, voice messages to a friend.
We talked about the voice inside your head and how you don't need to silence it, you just need to stop obeying it.
And we shared a few embarrassing stories, including my legendary coffee cut.
A story that will follow you forever now.
Worth it for the content.
The whole idea today is simple. You don't need perfect English to start talking. You just need to start.
Shrink the sentence, buy some time, keep your emergency phrases ready, and practice somewhere safe first.
And when you make a mistake, remember, the world usually just keeps going.
Coffee cut, small or large. All right, time for our favorite part.
The question of the day.
Today we have 2 questions for you. First, tell us about a time you knew exactly what to say in English, but you stayed quiet instead.
And second, share one funny mistake you've made in English that still makes you smile now.
I'll go first with an example. I stayed quiet in a meeting even though I knew the answer, because I was fixing my grammar in my head.
And mine, I once called a stapler a paper hugger because I forgot the real word. And now, that's just what I call it.
A paper hugger. I respect that.
It's more accurate anyway.
Write your answers in the comments. Even one short sentence counts as real practice.
We read every single comment, and we genuinely love laughing along with you.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
We hope you leave with a little more courage to speak, even before your sentence feels perfect.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who is also learning English.
And subscribe to Speak Easy FM so you don't miss our next episode. New videos every week.
Remember, you don't need the perfect sentence. You just need the small, real one said out loud.
Stop thinking, start talking. That's today's motto.
From both of us,
Keep learning, keep practicing.
and have a wonderful day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!